Blessed be my witches, my spiritualists, and welcome to another episode of Witch Please. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are going to be working on the sixth part to our chakra oil series, and that is the third eye. Now before we get into this, I just wanted to apologize for the late video. As you can see, there's a lot of clutter around me. I am getting ready to do a show, and I am making a whole bunch of products and whatnot, so I've been very busy with doing that, and I didn't want to speed through a video. I wanted to be able to give you my undivided time and attention. In the interim, I'm probably going to be putting my videos out on Tuesdays or Wednesdays and then getting back to Sunday, just because it makes it a little easier for me. Again, thank you for your patience, and let's get right into the third eye chakra oil. When someone has an issue with the third eye, it really does affect me, and I'll tell you why. Because these people's intuition is off. And I find that they have a very difficult time being able to see the bigger picture, drawing the connections. They really can't seem to put themselves in someone else's shoes. They have a hard time with so many different variables, just understanding their fellow man. They're normally very rigid in their way of thinking, you know, everything has to make sense in a certain way. They can't really connect to spirit in a certain way. These people, I normally just have a very difficult time with them, to be honest with you. I'm just going to be flat out with you. As I said, the other ones, as long as the third eye is in check, you know, I can really communicate with these people. So, when I have somebody that comes to me and they have an imbalance of the third eye, I normally will have a tendency at that point in time to do a lot more work on them. I will maybe do bath salts and reikis and sage and smudging and all these other types of things just to be able to start clearing that up. I'll use crystal therapy, I will use aromatherapy, I will use color therapy, you name it. I will normally go that route when I'm dealing with someone with an imbalance of the third eye. Now, I know a lot of people might be wondering why you would think that the heart chakra or any of these things. Well, the heart chakra is the bridge, okay? It's the bridge between the above world and the below world. But the third eye is how you perceive it. And if you cannot perceive things clearly, then you're not going to be able to draw the connections. You're not going to be able to take effective action in the correct way. You're going to be very rigid in your thought process, thus meaning that you're not going to get the whole picture while taking action. So that is another thing that causes a lot of people a lot of conflict. So having the third eye in check is really one of the most important. Remember, what has a tendency to get us out of unpredictable situations? Intuition. Intuition comes from the third eye. Having said that, what are you going to need for this? Well, for my third eye chakra oil, I have a tendency to use a combination of two base oils. Extra virgin olive oil as well as avocado oil. Olive oil has long been associated with money, with healing, with purity, with clearing. It is great for home and hearth, great foundations. So I like to be able to use it for that. But on top of that, olive oil is great when it comes to allowing the mind to be able to sustain itself. They say now that olive oil is great when it comes to dementia. So I like to bring this in because I feel, in my own personal belief structure, that when someone has an imbalance of the third eye chakra, they're actually going through a form of dementia because they can't really grasp everything in its entirety. The clarity is not there. Everything is a little obstructed, right? And that's another reason why I use the avocado oil, because they also say that avocado is very good. The fats in avocado are great for allowing the brain to be able to get the nutrients it needs to be able to be very cognizant and aware. On top of that, I also like to use the avocado oil because avocado is great when it comes to bringing in and manifesting in the physical reality what the highest self is looking for, or the highest self is trying to give you. Now, we will also be using Cypress oil, Clary Sage, Juniper, and Frankincense. Well, first of all, let's talk about Cypress. Now, we know that Cypress is good for domination. We know that Cypress is good for foundations and grounding. So many people in this world, when they are in that point in their lives where their third eye or their intuition is not there, that's when they have to have a lot of self-restraint. They need to really be able to tame that monkey mind, to be able to focus their intention. Now, for me, focus comes from being able to be dominant in that situation, to have that strength. Dominance is a form of strength. So I like to bring this in to have that strength, to have that perseverance, to be able to keep yourself focused on what you need to do. And that is being able to develop and build that intuition up, to create and to strengthen that connection between the highest self and the deepest self, so that the limits of the mind, all the illusions that are being held, no longer have the ability to be able to shut you off and allow you to stay a strong conduit where spirit and soul can communicate effectively to allow you to see the greater picture. So we're going to start this off here. So I put in 9 drops of my Cypress oil. Now, why do I use Clary Sage? It clears away the illusions that are limiting the third eye from being able to do what it does, okay? I like to use the Clary Sage to be able to bring that clarity, to be able to, in conjunction with the Cypress oil, to be able to stay focused, remove all the limits, all the blocks, everything that's within inside of your vision that is hindering you from being able to see past what is just in front of you, to be able to understand what is behind that. Clary Sage, to me, has the ability to be able to not just see what's in front of you, but to be able to see what's around you. It kind of lifts the fog and allows for one to be able to see through that veil. So we are going to be using 7 drops of Clary Sage. Now, Juniper, in my opinion, is very closely associated with cedar. The reason why I like to use this Juniper is also to be able to allow for the mind and the soul. This is a very complicated way of being able to express this, because with the powers of Juniper, it really does bring in a different element. It allows for one to be able to not just stay rooted, but to also bring in a different aspect of intuition. There is the intuition that one sees, right? The clairvoyance, right? But there also is the clairsentience. And I find that Juniper is a great way of being able to allow you to feel, allow that, you know, when you're in a situation where you feel a gut instinct, the baser survival mechanism that allows for one to be able to be like, everything here looks quite fine, but my instinct, my gut is telling me something different. And I find that when you do bring in the Juniper with this, what it ends up doing is it allows for those gut instincts to become stronger, so that the third eye will be able to be like more activated and understand, well, wait a second, my gut instinct is telling me this. Maybe I should look a little deeper. Maybe I should go a little deeper into this to try and figure out why I'm getting this natural feeling. So that is the reason why we add in our Juniper, and we are going to be putting in 7 drops of this. I like frankincense in my third eye chakra oil simply because frankincense really does help with spirit. I like to look at frankincense as almost a way of being able to bring the universal gut instinct into the equation here. Just like I said to you that the gut instinct can activate the mind, the third eye, to be able to look deeper, right? I find that frankincense also helps with that spiritual, quote-unquote, gut instinct, to be able to bring the mind to be like, hey, wait a second, something's not right here. You're not looking at this in the correct way. So we're really kind of attacking it from both ends here, okay? We're trying to empower this, and clear the third eye to allow us to be able to be directly connected, so that this intuition is automatically available and at your disposal whenever needed, and within your day-to-day life for that matter. So we are going to be adding in 9 drops of the frankincense. Oh, I can already feel it in my third eye. Everything is tingling up here. Now I do have a cold, but I can feel it tingling and activating all in here. What I have a difficult time when it comes to people working with the third eye is that they just assume that they can put something on the third eye and bing bang boom, your third eye is going, you're activated, and so on. The third eye is something very, very different, and we have to take this into consideration. Where the heart chakra is the bridge, the third eye is again how you are going to perceive, what you are going to, the information that you're going to be getting from the above self and the deepest self, okay? How you see it, okay? The connections that you make are all going to be in the third eye. We need to realize this and we need to understand this. So, if you want to be able to see clearly, if you want to be able to act clearly, if you want to be able to draw connections, this all comes in with the third eye. This governs not just this sight, but foresight, hindsight, all the sights. If you are working with past traumas and you're seeing things in a certain way and you can't let things go, this will help you with that as well. It will help you to be able to see what happened in the past in a different way. And this may be able to allow you to be able to clear up some views that you may have had. Maybe you were in a bad situation at that point in time and you were looking at things from a very negative connotation. Maybe you were in a bad place and the actions that you took made you feel horrible at this point in time. Where were you at that time? This will be able to assist you in being able to look back as well and say, hey, wait a second. This is what's going on. This is what was happening. These were the reasons why. And another thing I love about this oil is that it also doesn't allow you to play the victim. Okay? This one will also help you with seeing things in a positive way. Alright? It does not blow smoke up your ass and it doesn't shield or hide things. It won't do that. But what it will do is allow you to see things in a different perspective so you don't feel so left in the dark and vulnerable or victimized or whatever it is that you're holding on to. That is the reason why it is so very important for us to always take a look and try to keep the third eye as connected, as functioning as possible when it comes to anything that we are doing in our day-to-day life. Now this is one of your standard, I believe it's 10 ml bottle. So we're going to be putting in around 5 ml of the olive oil and 5 ml of the avocado oil, or somewhere in that proximity. And last but not least, we're going to put this on the top. And we are going to up and down, as above, so below, as above, so below. And now what we're going to do is we are going to finally do our prayer over this. Keep the higher self and the deepest self strong, functioning, and the messages be it giving to be received on this plane of existence, concise, perfect, understanding, knowledgeable. That's my result. So I'm going to say my prayer over this, and we are going to finish this out. Now I find that with the divine, they never really bring you negativity. They try and keep it very positive. So what I normally say is if something is coming in and you're feeling that it's something that's more of a man-made type of thing, and what you're going to want to do, or what I will do, is I will actually use my third eye chakra oil. I will anoint a blockbuster candle, or even a absorption candle, black or white candle, whatever I feel I need to do, and I will say a prayer over that, and I will also use my third eye oil to be able to break down anything that may be coming into my reality that really shouldn't be there, because the fact, again, it was my intuition, it was the help and the use of this oil that allowed me to see this vibration coming in. So I find that I use this one as well to be able to help repel it, and move it. You can use my fiery wall of protection, my banishing oil, any of these things will also help, but this also works in a pinch. So I just wanted to let everybody know that the Witch Please School is still opening up. I am just going through the hoops right now, getting everything in order for the Witch Please family members to ensure that all the information that you are giving, I mean, teaching one-on-one is one thing, doing it online is a completely different thing. We have to talk about accreditation and all of these things, and I'm trying to get this all done as soon as possible. But we will be taking students as we are going to be starting our new semester at the beginning of December. So anybody who is interested in taking these courses and whatnot, please let me know. Send me an email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com. I will get back to you and I will book you in to be able to take that training course outline and what have you. All right. So that is our episode for today. If you have not pressed subscribe, you know you need to press subscribe. Join the Witch Please family and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial, or you can leave a comment below. Don't forget to press that bell icon so you're notified when a new video comes out, because you know you don't want to miss a thing. I said it before, my spiritualist, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic, and you are always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch Please.